You've probably met her before. That woman who walks into a room and something just shifts. She doesn't say much, but her presence speaks volumes. There's something different about her, a depth you can't quite put your finger on, an intelligence that can't be measured by any test. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, called this superior feeling function. But it's so much more than that. These women don't just feel more deeply. They see what's invisible to most of us. They read the energy of a room, like others read a book. They navigate life through channels that science hasn't even discovered yet. Today, I want to share with you 6 invisible traits that set these spiritually intelligent women apart. These aren't the women performing spirituality on social media. These are the real deal. And if you recognize yourself in what I'm about to share, you're part of something ancient and powerful. Trait 1. Energy reading. The first trait is their ability to read energies that others completely miss. When she enters a space, the atmosphere changes not because of what she does, but because of what she radiates. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately known something was off, even though everyone seemed fine, or felt an instant connection or aversion to someone you just met, only to have that feeling proven right later? These women are like human barometers. They sense the unspoken tension between that couple at the dinner party. They feel the hidden grief behind their neighbor's smile. They detect the agenda behind someone's charm. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition operating at frequencies most people can't access. Often, this ability runs in families. Grandmothers who had to read their husband's mood to keep the peace. Great-grandmothers who survived by detecting danger in a footstep or opportunity in a glance. This wisdom flows through bloodlines like an invisible river. But here's the thing. This gift comes with a price. To see clearly means seeing what others prefer to keep hidden. These women often feel isolated, not by choice, but because their accuracy can be overwhelming. They become mirrors, reflecting truths people aren't ready to face. Trait 2. Connection to universal wisdom. The second trait is their intimate relationship with what Jung called the collective unconscious, that vast reservoir of universal patterns and symbols that connects all of humanity. While most people catch glimpses of this deeper reality through dreams or random inspirations, these women maintain open channels to this wellspring of wisdom. They dream in symbols that later show up in real life. Synchronicities happen to them with a frequency that would make statisticians nervous. A water dream becomes guidance about emotional healing. A chance encounter with a specific animal becomes a message about personal power. That number you keep seeing everywhere, for them, it's confirmation they're on the right path. They've learned to trust these synchronistic guideposts. While others dismiss meaningful coincidences as random chance, these women recognize them as communications from a deeper intelligence orchestrating reality behind the scenes. Their lives often read like mythic stories, filled with encounters that feel scripted by some benevolent cosmic force. They show up in the right place at the right time to offer exactly what someone needs, not through planning, but by following invisible currents of meaning. Trait 3. Sacred solitude. The third trait often puzzles people around them, their need for what Jung called sacred solitude. These women choose periods of isolation not because they hate people, but because they understand something. Our extroverted culture struggles with the deepest transformations happen in silence. Their solitude isn't loneliness, it's laboratory work for the soul. When they withdraw, they're not running from life, they're diving deeper into it. They use this time to journal, meditate, create, or simply sit in silence, allowing the chaos of daily life to settle so clarity can emerge. This often confuses family and friends who see their need for space as rejection. But these women have learned that attempting to maintain constant social connections depletes their spiritual resources and actually diminishes their ability to serve others authentically. They've discovered they have natural energetic cycles, times of engagement and times of withdrawal. Honoring these rhythms isn't selfish, it's essential. Their solitude becomes an act of self-preservation that ultimately benefits everyone in their orbit. Trait 4. Transforming pain into wisdom. The fourth trait might be the most profound, their ability to transform personal suffering into universal wisdom. These women don't just endure pain, they alchemize it. They voluntarily descend into their own underworld, facing demons that others spend lifetimes avoiding. And they emerge carrying treasures that can only be found in the depths of personal hell. This is the ancient archetype of the wounded healer gaining power to heal others through intimate knowledge of suffering. Their pain becomes their qualification. Their suffering becomes their certification as guides for others walking similar paths. But this isn't about wallowing or staying stuck, it's about integration. They learn to hold opposites in tension, light and shadow, joy and grief, strength and vulnerability. Instead of choosing sides in their internal wars, they become the sacred marriage of these opposites, giving birth to a new level of consciousness. Their scars become sacred sites, pilgrimage destinations for their own souls, and eventually for others seeking transformation. Once you've walked through fire and emerged refined, Trait 5, communication through presence. The fifth trait is their mastery of nonverbal communication, what Jung called therapeutic presence. These women have learned to communicate through the quality of their being rather than the quantity of their words. They understand that silence can be more eloquent than speech, and that presence can be more healing than advice. Sometimes, the deepest service they offer is simply witnessing another's experience without trying to fix, change, or improve it. When they do speak, their words carry weight. They've learned that speech is sacred, that words have power to create and destroy, to heal and wound. They choose their expressions carefully, quality over quantity, depth over breadth. People often comment on feeling better just from being in their company, even during brief encounters. This isn't a coincidence, it's the natural result of their energetic sophistication. They've become tuning forks for higher frequencies, helping others remember their own capacity for peace and wholeness. Trait 6. Attracting sacred encounters. The sixth trait is their natural magnetism for meaningful coincidences and sacred encounters. These women don't actively seek spiritual experiences. They attract them. Their consciousness operates like a beacon for the mystical. What others search for desperately, they receive as natural gifts. Their lives become textbooks of synchronicity, filled with encounters that feel orchestrated by invisible intelligence. But this comes with responsibility. Not everything meaningful should be welcomed. They must develop sophisticated filters to distinguish between genuine guidance and ego inflation. Their presence in groups often catalyzes transformation in others, even when they're trying to remain invisible. They become unwitting initiators, challenging others to question assumptions and consider possibilities beyond conventional thinking. As these women mature into their gifts, something beautiful happens. The more spiritually intelligent they become, the more ordinary they appear. The extraordinary becomes so natural that it loses its dramatic quality. They stop feeling special for possessing these traits and understand them as tools for service rather than sources of identity. They learn to wear their wisdom lightly. Their power operates through subtlety rather than display, through being rather than doing. The world may never recognize their contribution, and increasingly, they find they don't need it to. If you've recognized yourself in these traits, understand this. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness, but a strength. Your need for solitude isn't antisocial, but essential. Your ability to transform pain into wisdom isn't common, but is invaluable. Your invisible intelligence isn't imaginary, but absolutely real and desperately needed. You're part of an ancient lineage of bridges between worlds. The intelligence flowing through you isn't optional, it's essential. Trust the wisdom within you. Honor what sets you apart. The world needs the medicine you carry, even if it doesn't always understand it.